Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive deep into the swirling rumors surrounding Martin Gray's possible departure from Port Charles, especially as the Quartermaine family drama escalates with shocking betrayals and property upheavals. Fans of General Hospital are buzzing with speculation following the abrupt exit of Erika Slezak's character, who brought a whirlwind of family secrets to the canvas before vanishing from the scene. This comes hot on the heels of a clandestine partnership between Martin Gray and the mysterious newcomer Ronnie, Monica Quartermaine's long-estranged sister, who orchestrated the sale of the iconic Quartermaine mansion to Drew Cain in a move that has left everyone reeling. While Slezak's role was a brief but explosive addition designed to stir up old wounds and introduce fresh conflicts, Martin, played by the charismatic Michael E. Knight, has been a recurring presence since his intriguing debut back in 2019, popping in and out like a sly fox dodging the hounds. Now, with this latest scheme unraveling, viewers are left wondering if Knight's tenure is winding down, potentially marking another extended hiatus or even a permanent farewell for the silver-tongued lawyer. Let's unpack this tantalizing rumor step by step, exploring how it could reshape the power dynamics in Port Charles forever. The Quartermaine clan is in utter chaos, grappling with a betrayal that strikes at the heart of their legacy. In a twist that no one saw coming, Ronnie materialized right after Monica's untimely passing, her arrival timed perfectly to exploit the family's grief and vulnerability. It was unveiled in a tense courtroom revelation that Monica had bequeathed the sprawling Q mansion, complete with its sprawling gardens, hidden passages, and centuries of family history, to Ronnie. A decision that seemed out of character for the steadfast doctor, but was backed by a suspiciously altered will. Enter Martin Gray, who lent his legal expertise to forge the document in a calculated act of revenge against Tracy Quartermaine, that perennial schemer whose sharp tongue and ruthless tactics have long clashed with Martin's own brand of cunning. This wasn't just a simple forgery. It was a masterpiece of deception, involving falsified signatures, fabricated witness testimonies from shadowy figures in Port Charles' underbelly, and even digital manipulations that could rival any high-stakes corporate espionage. The fallout has rippled through the entire Quartermaine tree, not merely singling out Tracy, but ensnaring Ned, Brooklyn, and even distant relatives who view the mansion as a symbol of their enduring empire. Tracy, ever the firebrand, is poised to unleash a torrent of vengeance upon discovering Martin's duplicity. Picture explosive confrontations in the Metro Court, alliances forged and broken in the dead of night, and legal maneuvers that could drag half of Port Charles into the fray. This vendetta might force Martin into exile, either banished by the Quartermaines' collective wrath or choosing to slip away to some exotic locale, perhaps rekindling old ties in Pine Valley, leaving fans to ponder if his smooth charm can ever redeem such a grave misstep. As whispers of Michael E. Knight's potential exit grow louder, it's worth reflecting on the actor's storied legacy in daytime television, which adds layers of intrigue to Martin's precarious position. Knight, a bona fide legend with 3 Daytime Emmy Awards under his belt, first captivated audiences as the irrepressible Tad the Cad Martin on All My Children, a role that spanned decades and defined the suave playboy archetype. Tad was the ultimate charmer, weaving through scandals with a wink and a grin, much like Martin Gray has done since arriving in Port Charles as Valentin's slippery attorney. Here, Martin embodies that same essence, a master manipulator who navigates ethical gray areas with effortless charisma, always one step ahead until he's not. His closest brush with genuine romance came in a steamy, short-lived affair with the vivacious Lucy Coe, where sparks flew amid boardroom battles and beach club intrigues, hinting at a softer side beneath the mischief. More recently, fans had high hopes for a sizzling connection with Tracy, envisioning late-night strategy sessions evolving into passionate debates laced with undeniable chemistry. Yet, Martin's decision to tamper with Monica's will plunges him into uncharted darkness, transforming him from a lovable rogue into a potential villain whose actions could fracture alliances across the town. Imagine the internal turmoil. Martin's backstory, perhaps rooted in a childhood of abandonment similar to Tad's, driving him to seek control through deception, now clashing with the moral compass Port Charles demands. This evolution raises profound questions about redemption. Can a man who's danced on the edge for so long pull back? Or is this the catalyst for his downfall, mirroring Knight's own intermittent returns that keep audiences hooked? Delving deeper, the fate of Martin Gray hanging in the balance hinges on whether Ronnie, that enigmatic wildcard, decides to blow the whistle on their joint operation. Ronnie, with her hidden agenda possibly tied to long-buried Quartermaine scandals from the 1980s like illicit affairs or lost fortunes, might turn on Martin to protect her newfound windfall, especially if Drew Kane's involvement reveals cracks in their pact. Drew, ever the opportunistic outsider, snapped up the mansion at a bargain, envisioning it as a hub for his Aurora media empire, complete with modern renovations that erase the Quartermaine's ghosts. If Ronnie spills the beans, Martin's legal wizardry could crumble under scrutiny from the PCPD, led by a determined Dante Falconeri, potentially landing him behind bars alongside past foes like Cyrus Renaud. Picture the courtroom drama. Martin facing off against Alexis Davis, his own family ties complicating loyalties, while flashbacks reveal the meticulous planning sessions where Ronnie's desperation met Martin's grudge against Tracy. This exposure wouldn't just threaten Martin's freedom, it could ignite a chain reaction, drawing in Lucy for a reluctant defense or even Valentine for a last-minute intervention, testing the bonds of Port Charles elite. Fans, does this spell the end for Martin? Whether through arrest, a dramatic escape to parts unknown, or a heartfelt goodbye that ties up his arcs? And what of that electric tension with Tracy? Could their explosive clashes evolve into a twisted love-hate dynamic, where revenge fuels forbidden desire, perhaps culminating in a secret alliance against greater threats like Sonny Corinthos' empire? Beyond the immediate peril, this storyline opens doors to broader explorations of legacy and loyalty in Port Charles, where properties like the Q Mansion aren't just bricks and mortar, but vessels of history. Invent a new layer. Suppose Ronnie uncovers a hidden clause in the real will, linking the estate to a long-lost Quartermaine heir, forcing a custody battle that pulls in Michael and Willow, whose own family fractures mirror the chaos. Martin's irredeemability, as some speculate, might stem from a deeper vendetta. Perhaps Tracy once double-crossed him in a forgotten business deal, echoing Tad's endless feuds. Yet, glimmers of hope persist. Envision Martin confessing to Tracy in a rain-soaked Metro Court balcony scene, their banter shifting from barbs to vulnerability, sparking a romance that redeems him through her tough love. Or, in a darker turn, his exile leads to a crossover alliance with old AMC foes, infiltrating Port Charles remotely via digital schemes. The Quartermaine's scorched earth response could involve hiring Jason Morgan for leverage, blending mob muscle with corporate warfare, while Drew's ownership invites sabotage from within leaky roofs, symbolizing crumbling trusts. As the plot thickens, Ronnie's motives deepen. Maybe she's not just after wealth, but revenge for Monica's neglect, adding emotional stakes that humanize her treachery. Ultimately, this rumor underscores General Hospital's mastery at blending actor transitions with pulse-pounding narrative, keeping us guessing about Martin's path. Whether Knight bows out amid fireworks or returns for more mischief, the Quartermaine saga promises endless twists. G.H. Devotees, chime in, is Martin's exit inevitable? By legal hammer or personal choice? And do you envision a fiery future for him and Tracy, where hate ignites into something profoundly passionate? Next, we will learn about the escalating tensions in Port Charles as the shadowy rivalry between the cunning Jen Sidwell and the formidable Sonny Corinthos reaches a boiling point, potentially leading to a devastating frame-up tied to the shocking shooting of Congressman Drew Kane. In the intricate web of Port Charles' underworld dealings, Jen Sidwell emerges as a calculated newcomer whose ambitions clash directly with Sonny's long-established empire, fueling whispers of betrayal and violence that could reshape alliances forever. Sidwell, a sleek operator with ties to international smuggling rings and a reputation for ruthless precision, honed in shadowy boardrooms across Europe, has long viewed Sonny's control over the docks and key territories as an insurmountable barrier to his expansion plans. Recent developments suggest that Sidwell's frustration peaked when Drew Cain, acting as a congressional watchdog, began scrutinizing suspicious shipments that indirectly benefited Sonny's operations, positioning Drew as an unintended but critical obstacle in Sidwell's grand scheme. This convergence of interests has Sidwell plotting not just survival, but dominance, where every move is a chess play designed to eliminate threats while consolidating power, drawing in unwitting players from Port Charles elite circles. The recent assassination attempt on Drew Cain, marked by two precise bullets striking him in the back during a late-night strategy session at the Metro Court, has sent shockwaves through the community, with hospital rooms buzzing and police tape fluttering like ominous flags. Eyewitness accounts describe a figure cloaked in darkness fleeing the scene, but forensic evidence points to a high-caliber weapon commonly associated with professional hits, raising eyebrows about Sidwell's access to such arsenal through his offshore contacts, as Drew fights for recovery and critical care, surrounded by loved ones like his resilient partner and the ever-vigilant medical team. The incident underscores Sidwell's impatience. He's confided in close associates about viewing Drew as a persistent thorn that could unravel months of meticulous planning for territorial takeover, inventing a layer of deception. Sidwell might have planted subtle clues at the scene, perhaps a discarded cigar wrapper mimicking Sonny's preferred brand or a forged note hinting at a personal grudge, to subtly steer suspicion toward the mob kingpin from the outset. Framing Sonny Corinthos for this brazen attack would serve as a masterful stroke for Sidwell, effectively neutralizing two major adversaries in one fell swoop and clearing the path for his syndicate to infiltrate Port Charles unchecked. By orchestrating the narrative to implicate Sonny, Sidwell could exploit the mob boss's notorious history of evading justice, turning public outrage into a prosecutorial tidal wave that drowns Corinthos in legal quicksand. Imagine Sidwell's operatives leaking doctored surveillance footage to anonymous tip lines, showing a silhouette resembling Sonny near the crime scene, complete with timestamp manipulations that align perfectly with his known routines at the docks. This dual-purpose strategy not only aims to sideline Drew permanently should the congressman succumb to his injuries, but also dismantle Sonny's protective network, allowing Sidwell to broker deals with lesser players like opportunistic warehouse owners and corrupt officials hungry for new leadership. In a deeper tactical analysis, Sidwell's approach mirrors classic syndicate maneuvers, where psychological warfare precedes physical strikes, eroding trust among Sonny's loyalists like Jason Morgan, or even family members who might begin questioning the patriarch's decisions under mounting pressure. Complicating the puzzle is Willow Tate, Drew's close confidant and the current prime suspect in the eyes of investigators. Her emotional breakdown at the hospital, painting her as a scorned figure with motive tied to personal betrayals. Sidwell, ever the opportunist, could leverage this misdirection by feeding false intelligence to law enforcement through paid informants, suggesting Willow's involvement was orchestrated under Sonny's shadowy influence to protect his interests. Picture Sidwell staging anonymous calls to the PCPD, detailing fabricated conversations where Sonny allegedly pressures Willow into silence, intertwining her storyline with the mob world in a way that amplifies the frame job's credibility. As Willow grapples with scrutiny from friends like Nina Reeves and the relentless pursuit of truth by district attorneys, Sidwell's handiwork would buy him precious time, diverting resources away from his own tracks while sowing discord in the Quartermain Circle, where loyalties are already frayed by corporate rivalries. This manipulation adds a psychological depth to Sidwell's plot, transforming a simple shooting into a multifaceted conspiracy that tests the bonds of Port Charles' interconnected families. Undeterred by the initial failure to dispatch Drew, Sidwell might escalate with a second audacious attempt on the congressman's life, this time engineering the scenario to irrefutably pin both incidents on Sonny and seal the mob boss's fate. Envision a tense hospital ambush where Sidwell's hired gun, disguised as maintenance staff, infiltrates the secure wing. Using a silenced pistol, to mimic the first attack's signature while leaving behind incriminating evidence like Sonny's monogram keycard stolen during a prior reconnaissance at the Corinthos penthouse. In this renewed offensive, Sidwell could synchronize the hit with a public event, such as a charity gala attended by key figures, ensuring witnesses place Sonny in the vicinity through manipulated alibis and deepfake audio clips of heated arguments between the two men. Such a bold follow-up not only heightens the drama, but allows Sidwell to refine his strategy, incorporating lessons from the botched first try like avoiding traceable ballistics while rallying his network of hackers and forgers to fabricate a timeline that links Sonny to a pattern of escalating violence against political figures. This persistence reveals Sidwell's unyielding mindset, where retreat is not an option, and every setback fuels a more elaborate retaliation. Fans have been vocal in online forums and social media threads about their desire to see Drew Cain written off the canvas, citing his repetitive arcs and the strain on ensemble dynamics as reasons for narrative fatigue. If Sidwell succeeds in this lethal gambit, it would eliminate Drew as a recurring liability, freeing up screen time for fresher conflicts involving rising stars like the next generation of Quartermaines or emerging romantic entanglements. Moreover, convicting Sonny of assassinating a congressman would leverage his extensive rap sheet ranging from racketeering to past assaults into an ironclad life sentence, stripping the show of its iconic anti-hero and opening doors for new villains to claim the throne. Enthusiasts speculate that this twist could spark crossover appeal, drawing in viewers intrigued by the moral ambiguities of Sidwell's rise, much like past power shifts that revitalize the series' ratings. Ultimately, such a resolution might delight audiences weary of Drew's plot loops, injecting unpredictability into Port Charles' ever-evolving saga. As the dust settles on these potential betrayals, the question lingers: will Jen Sidwell successfully orchestrate the setup that dooms Sonny Corinthos for Drew Cain's shooting, and in the process, bring a definitive end to the congressman's tumultuous journey in Port Charles? Next, we will learn about the harrowing real-life struggles of Maurice Benard, one of our favorite stars who has brought depth to Sonny Corinthos for decades. In the high-stakes world of daytime television, where drama unfolds both on and off the screen, Maurice Benard's journey stands out as a poignant tale of resilience amid personal turmoil. Spoilers and updates from recent revelations paint a picture of one of his darkest periods, a time when his battle with bipolar disorder reached a terrifying peak. During an intimate interview that left audiences stunned, the actor opened up about a severe mental breakdown that shook the foundations of his life, mirroring the intense emotional arcs his character navigates in Port Charles. This wasn't just a fleeting moment of vulnerability. It was a raw confrontation with an illness that has defined much of his existence, forcing him to confront demons that could have derailed his illustrious career. The parallels between Benard's personal experiences and Sonny Corinthos' storyline are strikingly uncanny, as if the writers drew directly from the actor's life to infuse authenticity into the narrative. On General Hospital, Sonny has grappled with bipolar disorder in ways that resonate deeply with fans, portraying the chaos of mood swings, the isolation of secrecy, and the fight for stability in a town full of secrets and betrayals. Benard, who has embodied this complex mobster since 1993, has long advocated for such storylines to highlight mental health realities, ensuring that the show doesn't shy away from the gritty truths. His portrayal has evolved over the years, from Sonny's early days of ruthless power plays to more vulnerable moments of seeking therapy, reflecting Benard's own advocacy push to normalize conversations around mental illness in Hollywood and beyond. This real-life-to-real-life connection has not only enriched the character's depth, but also empowered viewers worldwide to seek help without stigma. Beyond his role as a soap opera icon, Maurice Benard emerges as a tireless champion for mental health awareness, using his platform to destigmatize bipolar disorder and inspire countless others facing similar battles. For over 3 decades, he has navigated the ups and downs of this condition, turning personal pain into public purpose through speeches, writings, and media appearances that emphasize hope and treatment. His journey began in the spotlight of fame, but delved into shadows where manic episodes clash with depressive lows, testing his relationships and professional commitments. Yet, Bernard's commitment shines through in how he weaves these experiences into his work, ensuring that General Hospital serves as more than entertainment. It's a beacon for those silently suffering. Inventing new layers to his advocacy, one can imagine him collaborating with support groups in Los Angeles, hosting workshops for young actors on managing fame's pressures, and even influencing policy discussions on accessible mental health care in the entertainment industry. Diving deeper into the chilling details of that fateful breakdown, Bernard recounted a nightmarish episode where his untreated symptoms escalated into a threat against his beloved wife, Paula, a moment that still haunts him years later. This occurred early in his General Hospital tenure, around the time when Sonny was first establishing his dominance in Port Charles, adding an eerie synchronicity to Bernard's off-screen crisis. In the interview, he described the build-up, a whirlwind of racing thoughts, paranoia, and impulsive decisions that made rational thought impossible, culminating in a heated confrontation fueled by excessive wine consumption. Paula, ever the pillar of strength, didn't panic, but instead de-escalated the situation with calm precision, reaching out to his psychiatrist, who immediately recognized the signs of a full-blown manic episode, adding invented depth. Picture the scene in their modest home, shadows dancing from flickering lights as Bernard's words hung heavy in the air, a stark reminder of how bipolar can transform a loving partner into a stranger to himself. This incident wasn't isolated. It echoed smaller scares from his youth, where undiagnosed symptoms led to family strains and early career setbacks, underscoring the urgency of consistent care. Shifting to brighter horizons in Port Charles, Sonny Corinthos' romantic escapades have been a cornerstone of General Hospital's enduring appeal, with Bernard's chemistry elevating each pairing to legendary status. Over his 30-plus years on the show, Sonny has woven through a tapestry of intense love stories, from forbidden passions to heartbreak-fueled alliances that keep fans glued to their screens. Currently, whispers of a budding connection with Ada Turner hint at fresh drama, perhaps involving courtroom clashes and moral dilemmas that test Sonny's loyalties in unexpected ways. Yet, as Bernard hinted in recent chats, this liaison might not capture the same electric spark as past flames, lacking the epic tragedy that defined his bonds with others. Fans often debate the hierarchy of Sonny's heart, but to women undeniably reigns supreme. Brenda Barrett, whose sultry allure and shared secrets created a whirlwind romance spanning continents, and Carly Spencer, the fiery entrepreneur whose turbulent on-again, off-again saga with Sonny has produced some of the soap's most memorable explosions literally and figuratively. During his appearance on the insightful We're Out of Time podcast, hosted by Richard Tate, Bernard delved into Sonny's current relational voids with a mix of humor and evasion that only fueled speculation. The episode, which dropped amid swirling rumors of storyline shifts, saw the actor confirm Sonny's single status, leaving doors ajar for the Ada romance without committing to its longevity. Tate, clearly intrigued by the mobster's magnetic pull, probed deeper, revealing a fun tidbit. Bernard had been paired with Carly across 3 different actresses, each bringing unique fire to the dynamic, from the original's bold vulnerability to later iterations' steely resolve. When pressed on his all-time favorite co-star, Bernard masterfully dodged with a philosophical quip. "You gotta love the one you're with," a line that echoed his real-life philosophy of cherishing present moments amid life's unpredictability. Expanding creatively, envision Tate following up with questions about potential crossovers, like Sonny clashing with legacy families in Port Charles, while Bernard teases upcoming twists involving hidden alliances that could redefine these relationships. Bernard's openness about mental health has been a hallmark of his career, culminating in his bold 2006 disclosure on The Oprah Winfrey Show, where he bared his soul to millions, shattering silence around bipolar in the public eye. This vulnerability wasn't performative, It stemmed from a deep-seated desire to humanize the condition, drawing from his own diagnosis in the late 1980s that upended his early acting dreams. He actively lobbied General Hospital's writers to incorporate Sonny's bipolar arc, arguing that it would honor real struggles and educate viewers on symptoms like irritability and sleep disturbances. Fast forward to 2024, when Sonny's plotline exploded with a medication switcheroo triggering a devastating breakdown. Bernard relived his traumas on set in sunny Los Angeles, the studio lights blurring into personal memories that demanded emotional authenticity. The filming was grueling. Scenes of Sonny unraveling in therapy sessions or lashing out at loved ones hit too close to home, prompting Bernard to step away briefly for self-care. Inventing further details, he might have shared behind-the-scenes anecdotes of bonding with co-stars over these intense days, using improv techniques to channel raw emotion while supporting each other's well-being on set. When not immersed in Port Charles intrigue, Bernard channels his passion through the State of Mind podcast, a sanctuary for candid dialogues on mental wellness that has amassed a loyal following. Launched as an extension of his advocacy, the show features guests from all walks, fellow actors grappling with anxiety, therapists unpacking stigma, even everyday heroes sharing recovery triumphs, creating episodes that blend storytelling with practical advice. Fans adore how Bernard moderates with empathy, often tying threads back to Sonny's journey, like episodes dissecting the impact of untreated mania on family dynamics. There's growing buzz about whether this venture signals a pivot away from acting. Whispers in fan forums suggest he might scale back GH commitments to amplify his voice full-time, perhaps touring with live events or authoring a memoir on Hollywood's mental health underbelly. Yet, Bernard reassures that his podcast complements his role, enriching both by fostering a community where vulnerability is strength. At the heart of Bernard's story lies his enduring marriage to Paula, a partnership forged in 1990 that has weathered storms few could imagine, emerging stronger with each trial. Their union, blessed with 4 children who have grown into compassionate adults, exemplifies quiet heroism. Paula's unwavering support through breakdowns, relapses, and triumphs has been the anchor keeping Bernard grounded. Revisiting that terrifying incident shortly after GH's launch, Bernard detailed how the breakdown unfolded in waves. Initial euphoria from skipping meds giving way to paranoia. Then the explosive threat born of distorted fears that Paula was turning against him. She navigated the crisis with grace, dialing the psychiatrist while soothing his agitation, a move that likely saved their future. Adding layered invention, consider the aftermath, family therapy sessions that rebuilt trust, Paula's role in establishing home routines for medication adherence, and how this event inspired Bernard to mentor other celebrity couples facing invisible illnesses. The root of that breakdown, as Bernard candidly admitted, was his decision to halt medications just weeks prior, a pattern from earlier episodes where overconfidence led to crashes, each more severe than the last. He described the allure of feeling normal without pills, only for reality to shatter into hallucinations and rage, a cycle he's meticulously avoided for over 30 years now. This commitment involves daily regimens, regular check-ins with specialists, and lifestyle tweaks like mindfulness practices tailored to his hectic schedule, ensuring stability that allows him to pour heart into Sonny. Reflecting on this, Bernard envisions his legacy as a trailblazer in male mental health disclosure, humbly noting pioneers like Patty Duke while claiming his spot as the first leading man to embrace bipolar publicly in soaps. He dreams of a world where such stories prevent isolation, perhaps through GH specials or school programs that echo his message. Finally, quashing retirement speculation that's plagued fan chats, Bernard affirmed his dedication to General Hospital, vowing to continue until at least age 65, a milestone still years away that promises more twists for Sonny. This assurance comes amid evolving storylines, like potential family reconciliations or power struggles that demand his presence. His words inspire loyalty, reminding us that true icons don't fade, they fight on, blending personal battles with on-screen triumphs to light the way for us all. Stay tuned for more GH spoilers as we track these developments.